Do what it do. That's right. That's right. Fuck the other day. Uh, what it do, man? The Raiders get a road victory on the road against the New England Patriots, a team we have not beaten in their house since I do believe 2002. Absolutely ridiculous. Shout out to the Raiders. Shout out to the coaching staff for making adjustments. Something the Raiders have not seen. I don't know how long since Gruden. I mean, it's been a while since we made second half adjustments. Started out not looking hot. The second half, it was a totally different team. The defense gave up 89 yards total, no points. Second half, absolute shutout for the defense. If y'all was sleeping on the defense, get your ass up out of bed. I'm telling y'all, this defense is nothing to sleep on, and they're just gonna get better with time. So, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you. How's your night going? I mean, it can't go any better, right? The Raiders get a victory. There's still football on. Um, I mean, it could have got a little better, right? The Broncos could have lost. The Chargers could have lost. But, it is what it is. Some damn good games around the league. I'm feeling nicey. What about you? How you doing tonight? The Baltimore Ravens are just smashing the Buffalo Bills, who were projected to go to the Super Bowl. These people and their projections, bro. ESPN, you hiring? NFL Network, you hiring? Let's get some real people in here to give real takes because, damn, the ones y'all giving are trash. 10, 8 out of the 10 people picked the New England Patriots to win. Only 2 people picked the Raiders on a bunch of networks. Absolutely heinous, dude. Just absolutely heinous. No respect. Well, I think we smacked some respect into some people today. When they go back and watch the film of what the Raiders can be, there were some misplays. Some guys like Darnay Holmes giving up a little bit of yards. 106 QBR, I do believe. We'll get into that later. But, man, the Raiders look solid. And if you follow this channel, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you because, right, you weren't surprised about anything you seen. I told you what this offense was going to be. I told you who the touchdowns were going to be. Trey Tucker, Ashton Genty. Did I not? So, shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate y'all pulling up. This offense has a chance to be scary good. Gino. We'll get into the stats here in a minute. But this offense, man, has a chance to be really good with no run game, right? The run game was pretty much anemic, didn't have much. There was a bunch of rookie running backs who had better games than Ashton Genty. We'll get into the game plan here in a bit, but I thought the game plan, could have used a little bit more physicality, a little bit more running, not a whole lot of rushing attempts. I'm kind of questioning why we went and drafted a running back 6th overall if we're not going to run the football. And I know if you watch the press conference, Pete Carroll said, we're going to run the football. Was good. So Pete Carroll says we're going to run the football. Chip Kelly says we're going to run the football. We didn't run the football. Maybe it was a situation, but it was raining outside. What better time to run the football than in the rain? So, I don't know, but hopefully they get it together. Hopefully it gets a little bit better. But if you're just going to throw the ball, 50 times a game, I don't know why we picked a running back 6th overall. Like, we should have went and got an offensive lineman, right? A guard would have been nice. I know that's a little high. But damn, traded back. I was all about the trade back on the trading back board. Nothing on Ashton Genty. I know he's going to get his. It's his first game in the NFL. He didn't get a lot of touches. And you got to be able to get touches to wear the defense out. So it'll come. I see the super chat. Raiders Thank you for the $2 holler. Devin Teal, what it do? What it do? Can you grab the camera for Lamar Jackson edit? Can I grab the camera? I mean, I could. Boom. There you go. Am I gonna get credit for it? Are you gonna tag me in it? How you want me to grab it? What you want me to do? You want me to elbow it? uh, yo, bicep flex, bro. You don't want to see my 50-year-old arms. Fuck you. I give you forearm flex there. Oh, look at that. That's all you get, bro. You don't get to see the biceps. But what's good, man? Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to the 21 rocking with your guy. Who's your team? Who's your team? Let me know. Are you a Raiders fan? Are you another fan? You love it all? I mean, whatever, bro. Whatever floats your boat, you know. Whatever floats your boat. You have a good one too, man. I'm glad you got your content. Can I shout out? It's his birthday. Yeah, shout out to Nick Gurr. What's good? What's good? You're a dumbass. All right, man. So, the Baltimore Ravens, as we know, are playing right now. Let's go around the league. The Buccaneers, the Falcons, 23-20 for the Buccaneers. You know, a damn good game, came down to the wire. We also seen, you know, Michael Penix for the first time starting the NFL game. Well, not starting the NFL game, but, you know, starting the season as the NFL quarterback, not being, you know, dragged in. He actually had time, knowing he was going to be that number one dude. So, you know, shout out to him. Damn good game. Damn good game. If you didn't watch it, go watch the highlights on NFL Network. Shout out to NFL Network. Bengals. The Bengals and the Browns. Another damn good game. A game you would think, you know, the Bengals were going to score 30 points on a Browns team. That's, what? Another wannabe commentator? Man, fuck you. Ain't nobody wannabe, bro. Fuck out of here. So, Bengals, Browns. Pretty solid ass game. Touchdown Buffalo Bills on the comeback. James Cook. If you're a Bills fan, Bills just scored. You ain't gotta delete their messages, man. I don't give a shit what they say. Alright, next. The most shocking game of all. This is my shocker. I didn't think the Colts were this good. Are the Miami Dolphins just that bad? They gave up Jalen Ramsey, who finished the game with a hell of a hit. Just knocked the lights out of dude. You was hoping Bills win the Super Bowl? Well, I mean, they got 16 games to go, and this one is not done yet, so they got a ways. But, like I said, I did not think the Colts were this good, and maybe it's just the Dolphins. Maybe it's just the Dolphins being that bad. Mike McDaniel is probably on his way out. I talked about it a little bit, you know, a couple months ago. Was supposed to be that top, you know, coach in the NFL. You're only as good as your coaching staff and your players, I'm telling you. So if you don't draft well, if you don't have a good offensive coordinator, if you don't have a good defensive coordinator, a coach ain't shit, bro. Unless he's out there, you know, scheming up the offense, scheming up the defense, which no coach in the NFL has ever done. It's a team effort. Same thing with the quarterback. No quarterback has won a Super Bowl without an offensive line, receivers, you know, or a running back. So how's Pete Carroll working out for you guys? Working out great for me, bro. He's working out great for me. Started out 1-0, you know, first time in a minute, tied for first place in the division. I had to say it, bro. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I had to say it. So, what's up, sis? What it do? What it do? So the Colts win in a shocking fashion over the Dolphins, 33-8. Bills going for 2. And they got it. 21-27. All right, so If anybody had the Colts winning that game, let me know. Let me know. I don't think so. Right? It is good to see the Raiders. The Raiders need to get it going, man. A historical franchise. When the Raiders are good, right? When this team is good and winning, the NFL's good. They need the Raiders to be great again. And Allegiant Stadium needs them to be great again so we can get some people in there. Didn't pay attention to the Colts. Yeah, crazy. 33 to 8. All right. Next up, Raiders Patriots. We'll go over that a little bit. Everybody knows the score, 20 to 13. I guess the Patriots did score in the second half. I forgot they kicked the field goal at the end. I don't know what good that was they're gonna do, but the Cardinals and Saints, 20 to 13. Cardinals walk away with a victory. Another pretty solid game down to the wire. Not a team the Las Vegas Raiders play, so not a team I'm worried about. The Colts, on the other hand, the Colts are going to be a problem, man. The Colts are going to be a problem if they continue to be healthy. You know, that's a pretty good team. I don't think the Dolphins are that bad, right? I think a lot of things went the Colts' way, but they're going to be a problem. So Cardinals Saints, we don't play 20 to 13. The Steelers and the Jets, one of the most electrifying games all day long, right? Back and forth. Justin Fields trying to show the Patriots that, trying to show the Steelers that they were just absolutely stupid for letting them go and going and getting a 42-year-old guy in Aaron Rodgers. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case. Ray Love, what's good? Raiders. So the Steelers, man, just a crazy game. Like I said, Jalen Ramsey, ends the game with a hell of a tackle or dislodging the ball. A guy that most of us wanted on the Raiders. Hell of a game, man. Hell of a game. If you get a chance to go back and watch the highlights on YouTube, go back and watch the highlights on YouTube. It's definitely worth watching. It might even be worth going and watching the whole game over again. Pretty solid game. I only caught parts of it. I might go back and watch. The Giants. How long will it be before my guy Jackson Dart is quarterback one for the New York Giants? Let me know in the comments. Anybody got a prediction? Were you upset when the Raiders left San Diego? No, I was not upset when they left San Diego, bro. Oh, Oakland. Okay. I started liking the Raiders way back when they were in Oakland. And I hate these damn jerseys with these big ass numbers. It's annoying. But yeah, of course I was upset, man. It's, that's been their home forever. Yeah, they went to LA for a little bit. Yeah, they won a Super Bowl in LA. But they're still always going to be known as the Oakland Raiders, no matter what, until we win a Super Bowl in Vegas. Maybe it'll change, but yeah, I was a little bit sad. I was more sad when they left Los Angeles, because I was closer to LA, in LA, born in LA. So yeah, I was sad they, left California in general, of course. But I also lived 25 years of my life, went to school in Vegas, grew up there. So, it is what it is. I believe this is the last, sorry, I'm trying to watch this Bills game at the same time. I believe this is the last time we move, right? As we've seen from today, if they continue to do that, if they play like that at home, there's going to be more fans in the building, and Vegas is going to embrace this team like never before. I mean, damn, they've supported the UNLV running Rebels forever, and they've been trash on football, on baseball, on basketball, and they still sell out all the time. So Vegas will come around. But yeah, I was a little upset, of course. But I think Vegas is a good place for them. It's going to take time. I know it's been 5 years, but it's going to take a little time. All right, next up, the next game, like I said, the Giants and the Commanders. The Washington Commanders, a team we do play this year that we will have to worry about, right? They're going to be a problem. So, Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels, they got Terry McLaurin, right? They got a solid ass tight end. They got weapons, right? They got weapons. They got a run game. Their defense held the Giants to 6 points. Russell Wilson makes his debut for the Giants. Not a very good debut. Only 6 points. It won't be long before Jackson Dart takes that job. It won't be long at all. And shout out to my guy Kobe24. Love the name. Love the name. Who you think will win next week? The Jacksonville Bucks. The Jacksonville Bucks or the Minnesota Jets? This dude clowning. The Jacksonville Jaguars do not play the Tampa Bay Bucks, and the Minnesota Vikings do not play the New York Jets, bro. So, I smoke, but I don't get that high. It was funny shit, though. It's funny shit. I've been asked dumber questions, so it was funny as hell, though. It's all love for sure. But yeah, the Commanders, man. Lawrence, my guy, what's good? What's good? How about that defense? How about that defense today? How about that offense? I know it's only one game, but come on, man. It's all we've had to talk about or brag about in the last 10 years. We won on opening day. It looks good, smells good, feels good. It must be a cooter. 21-6, Commanders win over the Giants. The Jaguars. A game that was close in the beginning, but the Jaguars, with too many weapons, um, you know, and the Panthers are the Panthers, right? The Panthers got a long way to go. The Panthers are a team, they're going to get better, right? They're going to get better. They have some problems. Is Bryce Young going to be that guy? Who knows, right? But first they need an offensive line. First they need receivers. They have some work to do over there. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, spanked that ass a little bit of the Carolina Panthers, 26-10. The Jaguars, are they going to be a problem for the Las Vegas Raiders? Absolutely. Every team we play is going to be a problem. JPJ is not a guard either. Put him back at center to shit or sit him down. I agree, man. I agree. We'll get to the numbers. He only gave up 3 pressures. He wasn't credited for a sack, but I know one of those were absolutely his all day long. The penalty was stupid, and we'll get to JPJ. Detroit Lions are the best teams. I don't know about that, Bronx boys. Didn't they get dog walked today a little bit? I mean, not spanked, but it wasn't, it wasn't great, right? So the Jaguars, they're going to be a little bit of a problem for the Las Vegas Raiders. But I think we got that, right? And if you haven't seen my predictions, it's 12-5. I predict the Raiders to go 12-5. Leave your comments below. More than welcome. I want all the smoke. Jaguars going to be a little bit of a problem, but I think, it's going to be a good game. Kind of like, it was in the first quarter today. The second quarter, totally different story. The Raiders are a totally different team. And we'll get into the Pete Carroll, the halftime hype, the post-game hype. Next up, Broncos and Titans. Now, a lot of y'all don't know, but the Raiders had 10 teams that we all play each other this week. So the Raiders got a very, very good look at teams like the Titans and the Broncos. How teams in our division like the Broncos match up against the Titans. We got to see the Chiefs and the Chargers play each other. We also got to see, what was the other one? The Cowboys and the Eagles play each other. And there was one more, but I can't remember. Giants and Commanders. So, the Raiders get a good look. The Raiders coaching staff, not us, but the Raiders coaching staff, the scouts, they get a good look and a good feel for the AFC West. You know, playing teams that we all play, so it doesn't happen very often in the first week of the season. You know, that you get a good look at all those teams and compare them against teams that you've played, you know, 2 times a year for the last 65 years or 60 years. So that's a big plus. The Broncos and the Titans, the teams we just talked about, they got to play each other. You know, the Raiders get a damn good look. It was a close game. It was a close game. I thought the Titans really had a chance to, you know, come down and tie it up if they could have made a 2-point conversion and a touchdown. I thought the offense was called very well. The receivers did not help Cam Ward out. There was 3 drops. Take the jersey off for $100. Send me $100 and I'll take the jersey off, bro. My Cash App is RaidersRebel. Simple. Put me $100 in the thing. I'll take it off. Shit. But you gotta send me the money first. I already did 50 push-ups at 50 years old for a dude not to pay me $50. I ain't doing that shit again. I could take my shirt off on here. People go take their shirt off all the time, bro. I'll do it. Send me the $100. I gave you my Cash App. It's in the bio. I just told you. Money sign, Raiders, Rebel. Capital R. I think. I don't know. When this phone goes ding, I'll do it, bro. I'll do it. So the Broncos, you know, the Broncos pull it out 20 to 12 in a very close game. I thought the Titans, you know, were way more competitive in this game against the Broncos than I thought they were going to be. The Broncos are supposed to have, well, I mean, they did hold them to 12 points. But, you know, for Cam Ward being a rookie, for his receivers not helping him out at all, for the running game not helping him much, I thought they played pretty well against a defense that's supposed to be, you know, top 3 defense in the NFL this year. So shout out to the Titans for now. But we play y'all soon, so you better get ready. But, you know, like I said, it's a good blueprint. We've seen how they matched up against the Broncos. You know, we've seen what they do, and the Broncos are kind of like us. They're going to run the ball. You know, they're going to throw the ball deep. Shout out for the $2 holla. I appreciate you. What did I think about the defense? I thought we have a bunch of young corners that haven't played much together. This was their first actual game. You know, nobody really took that spot. So except for Eric Stokes, who's been #1 corner, you know, all through camp. The rest of the guys have, you know, played with the 1s, played with the 2s, played with the 3s. So they need time to play together. They need time to trust in each other. They need to know, you know, what people, once you get to know what the guy next to you is thinking, you know, where he's going to be, have faith that he knows his job and is going to be in his spot. This defense is going to be nasty, bro. It's going to be nasty. And shout out to the 28 people in the building. Like, subscribe, follow your boy, Raiders Unleashed. You know, I've talked about it a lot. I say by week 5, this is going to be a defense that nobody wants to play. You know, when you have Max Crosby on one end, when you have Malcolm Kuntz on the other, who got, you know, another forced fumble today in his first game back, right? You have Tyree Wilson, who got a sack today, who's going to be a problem, right? This is a breakout year for Tyree Wilson. So this defense, by week 5, I'm telling you, by week 5, this is going to be a defense nobody wants to play in the NFL. They're going to go from 27th ranked in the NFL to the top 10, right? We're going to be a top 15, top 10 defense very soon. People are going to respect us. They're not going to want to play in Allegiant Stadium. And hopefully we find out, you know, next week on what? Monday Night Football in Allegiant Stadium? Woo-wee. So, I thought the defense was solid, man. I thought the defense surprised a lot of people, like I said it would, right? I told a lot of people, don't sleep on Devin White. Do not sleep on this defense. Do not sleep on my guy from, you know, my Vegas boy, Kai Blue Kelly, right? Kai Blue Kelly wasn't great, but he played solid. He had some pass breakups. He had a play that should have been called offensive pass interference where the dude had his hand up in his chin and he still made the play and defended the ball. So shout out to Kai Blue Kelly, you know, having a lot of pressure put on him. It's a guy that Pete Carroll went up to, you know, told him, look, I want you to make this team. I believe you're going to make this team. That's why I brought you here. But if you keep playing like you're playing, you're not going to make this squad. After that, Kai Blue Kelly has made, you know, all kinds of flashes. So if he continues to grow, the third round pick, Denarius Porter Jr., continues to grow. This defense is going to be solid, man. It's going to be solid. The defensive lines splits are too wide. It leaves the pocket for the quarterback to step up into. I hear you. And it's something, you know, it's something they got to work on. You got to know your gap technique. You know, you got to be able to close in on the quarterback and still maintain your gap. And don't let quarterbacks step into the pocket. If you surround the quarterback like we're supposed to do, mobile quarterbacks, and keep them in that cage, then, you know, quarterbacks aren't going to be able to run on us. So we're only going to get better, man. We're only going to get better. It's the first, it's the first game of the season. And Meffer screened me TF and I sent $100. What? I ain't getting no $100 on my Cash App. Cash App me $100, bro. Told you. Other than Mad Max being Mad Max, the guy said he paid you. Hey, bro. I'll show you my Cash App, dog. I ain't trying to hustle nobody. Zero. Zero. Ain't nothing in there. I'm a broke ass fool. What else we got? Shout out to a $2 holler again if I didn't see that. What else we got? So I can get back to what I was talking about. You pinned my Cash App. Nice. Yeah, Tyree Wilson. A lot of people slept on Tyree Wilson. They've already, you know, pretty much washed their hands of Tyree Wilson, called him a bust. Not on this channel. I said Tyree Wilson is going to take time, right? His rookie year, he didn't even play, right? Last year was pretty much his rookie year. Yes, he's going into his third year, but technically it's only his second year. So for a second year guy, getting a sack in the first game of your second year, that's absolutely huge, right? That's absolutely huge. And people are just, you know, have too high expectations. Yes, he was drafted in the 7th round, but we knew he was hurt when we drafted him in the 7th round. So it's not a surprise. You know, everybody knew it was an ankle injury. It's not an injury that, you know, heals overnight. It takes time. And he's starting to get to the speed of the NFL. He's getting a little quicker. He's starting to realize that he's a lot stronger with his leverage and his long-ass arms than a lot of these strong offensive linemen. You know, leverage beats everything, right? If you ever tried to turn a wrench and you couldn't get that bolt loose and you went and got a bar and got a little bit of leverage on it, right? Leverage is everything in the NFL. So when you're a guy like Tyree Wilson, you have them big-ass long arms and you can get up under somebody quick, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a big problem. Steelers in the house. What's good, Steelers? That was a damn good game, bro. Y'all played a damn good game. Aaron Rodgers, you know, silenced the critics, kind of like the Raiders did, saying our defense is going to be the worst in the NFL. Golly. What's that, Zay Flowers? Woo! Little slant route from Zay Flowers. Goes for big money. Big money. Good Lord. My guy Zay over there killing it. Got to keep guys in-house. What's good, Pamela Jackson? Need to watch the tape. I need to, or you need to? A lot of fans already gave up on Wilson. Yeah. He looked solid, man. He had, I don't know if he got credited for a sack, but he grabbed the quarterback from behind, right? Didn't he tackle the quarterback for a loss from behind, or was it the running back? Might have been the running back, but I thought it was the quarterback. And then he got the sack up the middle. So really, he should have had 2 sacks. Oh my God! What the? Holy shit! Oh, what a catch! Oh my God! D Hop still got it. D Hop still got it, bro. DeAndre Hopkins. What a grab. Oh my God. To one-handed tutty. That was insane, bro. That was insane. Y'all got to go watch the replay on that. Damn. What a catch. What a catch. That's going to be in the highlights for sure. For sure. No hate here. Nah, we ain't hating nobody. I don't care who your team is. Steelers good game. Yes, that was a damn good game. Okay, now you're talking like your jersey. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Welcome all the new people in the chat. Aaron lit it up. Aaron Rodgers was on fire today, man. What do you have? 4 touchdowns in the first half or something? I don't know. I don't know. Absolutely on fire. So, yeah, the 42-year-old silenced a lot of critics, shut a lot of people up. We heard all the talk, right, in camp about he looks slow. You know, he looks out of shape. He looks like he can't run. He can't move. Shut everybody up, right? Shut everybody up. Oh, I get that high. That's annoying. Raiders. All season long, all I heard was content creators saying we would trade DK Metcalf, mile trade. They were today they were praising him. But who was the one? Who was the one dude that made fun of everybody talking about Mayer trade? How many times did I come on here and blast every one of those content creators and say, stop talking about the Michael Mayer trades? He's not going anywhere. They need him. They need him. 12 personnel in Chip Kelly's offense it's unstoppable. It's unstoppable with Genty back there. I ain't never said shit, one bad word about Michael Mayer. One time I had a trade package that, you know, most people probably would have taken. But you can't get rid of a second-round pick like that who had just as many awards in college football as Brock Bowers. Now, he's not, you know, the athlete Brock Bowers is, but he has the size. He can block better. He has the hands. He can get open, right? He can create separation. He knows how to use his body to cut off the defender. The Raiders are going to be a flipping problem this year, bro. They're going to be a big problem. Bowers, you know, Bowers got hurt today. Got a new knee contusion. He was on the sidelines running around. He wanted to come back in, but the Raiders were like, nah, if we need you, we'll bring you back. They didn't need him, thank God. So, you know, rest up. But sometimes those knee bruises, you know, last a week or two. Everyone who said the Raiders would lose. Who said that? I missed the Raiders would lose. There definitely was a lot of people not on the Josh McDaniels sucks. Yeah, Josh McDaniels. You hear all that shit about the it's a payback game for Josh McDaniels, right? Josh McDaniels payback. Payback. Yeah, he got paid back. Everything he deserved for ever being a Raider head coach, man. That's real talk. Real talk. Bueno, what's good? What's good? Yo, G, your action was priceless. Laughed my ass off. That catch was sick, bro. This shit was crazy. Yeah, I'm watching the Ravens game. That one-handed catch was ridiculous. Just nasty work. Nasty work. Why Raiders fans always stealing from Walmart? Who the fuck stole from Walmart? I don't know. You see all the Raiders fans in the stadium in New England, so it ain't like we all broke. I don't know. Maybe they're hungry. Appreciate the sub. Appreciate the sub. Josh Allen rolling out. Oh, nice catch. Y'all got some work to do. 14 seconds left. Make sure everyone hits those like buttons, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. That offense looked really nice. It did, man. It did. And, you know, I wouldn't be me without saying it. But Geno did have, and we'll look at the stats, we'll break them down. But Geno did have 4 balls that I thought were turnover-worthy plays that he shouldn't have thrown. He got away with a couple. One, he didn't. But we got to clean that up, man. We got to clean that up. Other than that, we got to run the ball a little bit more. But the offense looked damn good, bro. It looked to me like the receivers were, you know, wide open on the catches. He didn't have to force a lot of passes, right? They just kind of, you know, just easy money throws, right? Just easy money throws. The guys were open. Chip Kelly called a hell of a scheme. I wanted to see a lot more rushing, I thought, in the scheme, you know, be a little bit more physical. But hey, a win is a win, and however you can do it, you know, that shit's fire. So, yeah, Geno cooked. He did cook. 360 yards. What? 2 touchdowns or 1 touchdown? 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I mean, but he did. The biggest number of all is the Raiders. What did Pete Carroll say? Had 5 or 6 plays over 20 yards. 5 receivers or 6 receivers. Cowboys are goated. Stop playing. Devin White was hitting out there. I told y'all about Devin White too, man. I don't mean to keep tooting my own horn. Toot, 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 toot. But damn, I told y'all about Devin White. I told you this man is on a mission. He has a chip on his shoulder. You got to brush that dirt off your shoulder, right? He got that chip on his shoulder, and he ain't getting rid of it. He's got something to prove. There's a lot of teams that didn't sign him, right? He sat in free agency for a long time. You know, the Tampa Bay Bucks let him go. So, he's got, you know, or he wasn't with the Bucks last year, was he? I don't know. But he's got something to prove, man. He got something to prove. He had 10 tackles today, I do believe. And I said, we'll go over the stats here in a minute. He had 10 tackles, a pass deflection, and a quarterback hit, or a quarterback pressure. So Devin White, dude. Devin White balling out, right? And I don't want to say old man because I'm 50, he's 27, right? But, you know, for some of the guys in the linebacker unit, right? The vet was balling. Must be an exception. It must be an exception, team fanboy. Not at first. He started out kind of bad. Who? Geno first drive was a touchdown. Yeah, the first drive was a touchdown. Sick ass touchdown, right? To Trey Tucker. Did Trey Tucker get 100 yards? He wasn't close, huh? I thought he was going to get 100 yards in a touchdown. I think he got a little bit short. If y'all didn't see my post on X, a couple yards. A couple yards, man. I needed one receiver to get a couple more yards to win $375 off of $5. $5, I picked an 18-er. I hit 7 of them. 7 out of 8. So tired of that shit. One away. Story of my life. Think the Packers are the threat? The Packers are a huge threat. They're a huge threat. You have one of the best running backs in the NFL in Josh Jacobs, who even with Ashton Genty, I'm still makes me throw up in my mouth every time I say it. You gotta turn around and look for the ball, man. So, yeah, Jordan Love, he's decent. He's a young quarterback. He's just gonna continue to grow and continue to learn. Um, they drafted one of the best receivers in the draft, so yeah, bro, they're gonna be a problem. And then, oh, did we forget to mention they traded for Michael Flippin Parsons? What do you mean? Are they gonna be a problem? Yes, they're gonna be a big, big problem, a big, big problem. There's not a lot of teams that are going to beat the Packers. And if you do, it's probably because, they beat themselves, made mistakes, had penalties. If they play mistake-free ball, the Packers are going to be very, very hard to beat. But you can say that about a lot of teams right now in the NFL. And I know it's only week one, but week one says a lot about an NFL football team, right? Not too many teams start out 0-4 and make it to the playoffs, right? Not too many teams start out, 0-3 or 1-4, right? Not too many teams start out like that and make it to the playoffs. It's usually the teams that start out hot, stay healthy, continue hot. So, to me, it says a lot. And a lot of teams look, damn, so much improved. So much improved. We got Jordan Love defense in my fantasy team. No disappointment here. I had the Broncos on my fantasy team. And it's a good thing none of y'all joined my fantasy league for $25 because I would have took all y'all money. I'm telling you. I think I won my fantasy shit by 53 points today. And I still have two players to play tomorrow night. And then the other one, I just joined somebody else's league because nobody joined my shit. But next year, like, subscribe, we'll do it again. I think I won by 48 points. So I think I did pretty good. Pretty good. I'm a Packer fan. I'm excited for the season. You should be, man. You should be. I don't know what the situation is with Nate Hobbs. Oh, to the one. And the Bills trying to come back. I don't know what the situation is with Nate Hobbs. I don't know if he's hurt for the season. I know he did get injured. But, man, with Nate Hobbs, if he comes back, that defense is going to be solid. The offense is a problem. Hell, even your special teams is good. So, yeah. But y'all got a tough division. Just like the Raiders. Dad? Who you calling Dad? Hi, son. How about them Raiders? Raiders! What it do, what it do. Appreciate you. Patriots. Gayness thought. I don't know why you have gayness thoughts, but I don't know what that means, bro. I don't have any of those. Roth is projecting. Yo, the defense, bro, but the Raiders suck. What? I got Ravens and Lions in the Super Bowl. No hate, though, bro. No, it's no hate. Everybody has an opinion, right? But yours is wrong. The Detroit Lions aren't making it to the Super Bowl. Now the Ravens have a damn good chance. There's not many teams that are going to stop the Ravens. The Ravens are going to have to beat themselves. Like, most teams in the NFL that are good. The Kansas City Chiefs, right? The Eagles, who almost did against the Cowgirls. The Cowgirls, right? There's a lot of good teams that are going to have to beat themselves this year that are very, very solid. The Ravens being one of them. The Lions, no. You lost your offensive coordinator. You lost your defensive coordinator. That's not going to be an easy fix. Dan Campbell wasn't a good head coach before he got Johnson, right? He wasn't a good head coach until he came in and took over the offense. They started winning. Then you had, a solid ass defensive coach. You lose both of your coaches to head coaching jobs. It's not going to be easy for the Lions. Now, yes, they have some good players. They went and got my boy Isaac Tesla from the Arkansas Razorbacks. Woo Pig, Suey. And, you know, they got some winnable games, but they got some work to do. They got some work to do. They're going to have to figure out, you know, how to use the weapons they have. How to use Jared Goff, because I thought, you know, Ben Johnson made Jared Goff a way better quarterback. Coaches, you know, the right coach helps your quarterback. And if you don't believe me, just look at, well, I guess we can't compare because it's only one game, but look at Sam Darnold's career, right? Look at Geno Smith's career. Look at Baker Mayfield's career, right? Look at these quarterbacks. What else we got? What game did I leave off on? All right, the Broncos. So, next game is the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. You know, another defensive game, not a lot of scoring. You'd expect to be, you know, more scoring, you would think, in week one. You know, teams making mistakes, not being up to par, right? However, that wasn't the case. There was a lot of low-scoring games. 49ers and Seattle Seahawks, 17-13. I'm not going to talk about it too much because we don't play either one of those teams. Next up, my guy in here's Green Bay Packers put a whomping on the Detroit Lions, who my other guy has picked to win the Super Bowl this year. 27-13. The Packers made a bunch of big-time plays, offensively, defensively, and we already talked about it. Problem. PRO, problem. Rams and Texans. Another game that absolutely shocked me, right? This game surprised the hell out of me. I got to be completely honest. 14-9. I mean, I didn't watch any of it. I watched a little bit of a highlights, but I didn't pay attention to who was quarterback. Does anybody know who quarterback for the Rams? Was it Sam Darnold? Was it Jimmy Garoppolo? Who played? Who got the start? I'll have to go back and watch the highlights, but somebody let me know, because that's the only game I didn't get to check out. And I could look it up, I know. But I know somebody in here's got to know. Come on. You got to know. But yeah, 14-9. The Texans, a team that everybody predicted, you know, to make it to the playoffs, to be a big problem and a nightmare for, you know, a lot of defenses and offenses, right? They're supposed to have a very, very solid defense over there. They got a defensive-minded coach. They're supposed to be physical. And they came out week one and struggled. So a team we play, the Texans, you know, I like my prediction. I like my 12-5 prediction for the Las Vegas Raiders. I feel like, just from what I've seen today, and let's remember, I made this prediction 3 months ago. 3 months ago. Before any camp, before any players traded, before any free agency, before cuts, before all that shit, just based on Pete Carroll coming to a team and the players I knew that were already on this team that were leaders, right? So 12-5. I didn't change it. I didn't change my prediction. I'm not going to make any more. And there's still 16 games, 17 games to go, right? Doesn't mean nothing week one. But we played a solid team. We played a well-coached team. And Mike Vrabel, you know, their offense was picking us apart. We adapted for the first time, like I said earlier, in many, many years. It's been so long since I've seen the Raiders adapt to a play scheme, right? Go in at the half, change shit up, and come out and dominate in the second half. 89 yards and a field goal in the second half, I'll take that all day long. And if you'll take that all day long, hit the like button, man. Thumbs up, something. I've had over 300 people in here. How many people? With 15 likes? Come on, man. Come on. Jets are trash. I don't expect the same numbers against better teams from Aaron Rodgers. Steelers defense was ass today. I don't know about ass. I think I think Justin Fields was special today. He made plays with his legs. He made a hell of a touchdown throw. The offensive line, is going to have to get better. They're going to have to hold up better. But Justin Fields was one of the youngest quarterbacks drafted, right? He was young, drafted to a shitty Chicago Bears team that is a place where quarterbacks go to die. So good luck, Caleb Williams. But typically, it's a place where quarterbacks get drafted and end their career, right? They don't play very long. They don't do well. And, he made the best of it. He made the best of it. Then he went to Pittsburgh. He played lights out. And the Derrick Henry is gone again. How many touchdowns is that? 3 today? Golly, I should have picked him on my fantasy. This man is special. He's just special. He is the fountain of youth. Back in the day, I used to think, Marcus Allen, Walter Payton, Eric Dickerson, guys like that were like the greatest running backs of all time. These guys nowadays, I'm sorry, old timers, but man, some of these guys nowadays, they're just freakish. They're just freakish. Just absolutely freakish. Oh, and he doinks it in. No, doinks it out. Doink in, doink out. Damn it, missed. 40-25. Whew. The Ravens are putting on a clinic and proving why the Super Bowl could very, very well be. That's been Nate Hobbs' problem his whole career. He comes back and always hurt. But he's played injured, right? Though you can't knock the man for that. I mean, it's the NFL. Shit happens. You're gonna get injured, and I'd rather have guys being injured, from flying around the ball, from playing physical like Nate Hobbs does. He doesn't half step, right? He's not out there. He's not out there being Jack Jones, afraid to get in a pile, right? Afraid to get his jersey dirty and shit. He's a dog. He plays physical. He hits people full speed with everything he's got, and you're gonna have injuries like that. Yeah, you're a human being. But none of them have been, long time. He's played games with casts on and shit like that. I mean, that has been the knock on him. It's hard for him to stay healthy, but I think it's because of his physicality, though, not because he's soft or anything. That Raider outfit fits you good. Raider outfit. What the fuck you talking about, bro? It's a Max Crosby shirt, clown. L Raiders. Salute. What do you think about Oklahoma quarterback? Reminds me of Bo Nix. I think he's a dog, bro. He's an absolute dog. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that, I'm an Arkansas Razorback fan, and I think the Raiders, if they want to be a team of the future, they need to go get Taylon Green. Taylon Green putting up, 45 points a game. And yes, he hasn't played any top 25 teams, but he will this week. And we'll see. We'll see what he looks like, if he still has the numbers. But 300 yards last week, 4 touchdowns, 165 yards rushing. Taylon Green is an absolute monster for the Razorbacks. But Oklahoma Sooners quarterback he's a dog, man. And, I mean, they've had Baker Mayfield, Caleb Williams, who else? Why am I drawing? Anyways, they've had, the last 8 quarterbacks out of there that's played for Oklahoma has been NFL quarterbacks. They're very, 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 very well at recruiting quarterbacks. And I would sign that kid all day. He's a lot younger, Bo Nix. He's faster. He's a little bit more physical, a little bit thicker. Yeah, I would take him all day long. But you chill for show. Appreciate you. I don't like you. Well, I don't like you either. Get the fuck out of my chat. What you mean, clown boy? Um, hey, Arch Manning sucked ass. I, I've never talked about Arch Manning. I've never talked about Arch Manning. The only thing I've ever said about Arch Manning is he wasn't coming out of college for the next 3 years, right? I've talked about this over and over and over again. Now, other content creators have constantly said, the Raiders should tank for Arch Manning, um, and all this crazy bullshit, right? Well, it don't matter if the season, if the Raiders only win 6 games, maybe we can get Arch Manning. Arch Manning is not coming out. He's a freshman, bro. He's a redshirt freshman, sophomore, I guess now. That has a lot of work to do. He's athletic as hell. He can run. He can make people miss. But he has shoulder issues, obviously. Like, he was grimacing every time he threw the ball yesterday. The first game, he just looked horrible. So I don't know why he's out there if he's in pain. But he's a Manning, bro. He's a Manning. He's going to, damn, intercepted. What a diving throw. And what the flip was the receiver doing just standing there with his thumb up his ass? You got to come back to the ball, bro. Help your quarterback. What are you doing? You just stopped. You didn't even try to make a... Oh, my God, bro. Somebody record that and send it to me so I could blast that all over the internet. What the hell? Who was that masked man? Who's number 5 for the Buffalo Bills? Anybody know? That's some garbage shit right there, bro. He just completely gave up on the play. Just stopped. He stopped looking like this. It's the NFL. You can't give up on a play. The defender didn't give up on the play. Broncos fan here. Oh, shit. We got a Donkeys fan in the building. Salute, salute. Welcome, Bronco. No, it's all love in here. It's all love in here. Eagles fan in the building. We got a Broncos fan, an Eagles fan. That's nice. That's nice. I like the diversity, right? You been trying? What? Candy unlocked. What it do? What it do? Captain Raph, what's good, my brother? How do you feel about the win? Are you happy about the victory? It's Raider Nation, motherfuckers, right? Tell them, Raph. Tell them. Get on them in the chat. How's your night going, yo? Mine's going good. Yeah, the Bills are getting smashed, bro. Bills are getting smashed. This Baltimore Ravens team is a team that nobody's going to want to play. And I'm glad we played them last year and got them the hell out the way. Because the only way we're playing them is in the playoffs. And I don't want that to happen either. I don't want to see them there either. That's one team I do not want to see. I know we beat them last year. Or they beat themselves, let's be honest. I'm not that guy. Ravens are destroying the Bills. Yes. 175 yards rushing. Derrick Henry. And what, like 6 touchdowns? This dude's a beast, bro. Beast. Barkley, number 26. Genty, number 2. I'm a Pats fan. Congratulations on the win today. Hey, shout out to you, man. Now, see, that's much respect. Coming in, congratulating on the win. Kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Never been a Patriots fan because of Tom Brady, but y'all got some class acts, some real class act people over there. They had the Al Davis Memorial yesterday, which was, shit, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That was awesome. Representing, Al Davis, a legend and our owner. Like, y'all didn't have to do that at all, so much respect to the Patriots, to their organization. And, as much as I hated them when Tom Brady was there, I gained a little bit, actually a lot of respect for your organization and for you for coming in here and saying that. So, shout out, man. Toppers 212. Solid dude. Ooh. Go Chiefs. We got Chiefs fans in the building. We got everybody popping in today. Raiders. Look. Damn, the trolls are thick tonight. That's what she said. I can't see Boss Lady. Definitely a troll. It's all good. Shout out with the Raiders. What time it is? But I should do that today. Weird. I didn't get a notification for this. What the hell, Grim? You're slipping, bro. You're slipping. Slipping. My bad. Email me your number, Grim. Email me your number or something so I can let you know. I'll text you or some shit before. I'm just saying he sucked ass. Sucked ass. I didn't say you said anything. Oh, I got you. Yeah, he was bad, dude. He was bad. No, I'm saying like don't that's the only thing I've said about him is I just don't think he's gonna come out for a while, and that's why. Because, you know, he was all that talk about Arch Manning being a first round pick next year, and then like they were jumping up and down because they beat a nobody team. That was crazy. As a Pats fan, I always had respect for the Raiders. Nice, nice. Well, as a Raiders fan, I've never had respect for the Pats. So I'm going to be honest until now, until yesterday and today. Classy, classy organization. If I want good sports stuff, go to Fanatics. I'll subscribe to Fanatics. I need to hit them back. I need to hit them back to see if I can become an affiliate over there or something. Start posting some of the merch on my shit. It's all love in the chat. Right? You're not illegal, you're an American. What? The fuck did that come from? Am I missing something in the chat? Are you dabbing tonight, Rebel? Nah, bro, nah. YouTube wants to keep messing with my money and shit. But yeah, I'm always dabbing, bro. This is not on the live stream. What? I was going and forgot. Oh, talking to him. Alright. Oh, hey, look, I'm caught up in the chat. Nice. What do y'all think about the rugby guys trying to get into the NFL for the money? I mean, I like it, right? I like it. I think, you know, I don't know if it's, you know, for the money or, you know, maybe they just fell in love watching the sport, right? Because not every country has American football, and rugby or soccer, you know, is the sport in some of those countries. So I don't hate on anybody for wanting to, you know, better themselves, for wanting to prosper, for coming to America to want to be a professional football player. And, you know, Lackey Tassie from the Raiders, offensive guard, the dude is 6'8", 340 pounds, and he moves like, you know, he's 240 pounds and, you know, 5'8". So, okay, not that fast, but you know what I mean. He's very athletic, very agile. So, you know, I don't hate on it for those dudes. If they can come over here and play the position, hell, more power to them, right? I think it's good. Like, some of those guys are physical, and it could be good for the NFL, right? There's already one last year or the year before, I believe, that came over and has been a guard in the NFL for the last 2 years, and the dude is killing it. So, LB123 says, I think they can add a new play style. They bring flair. If you got me. Yeah, I got you. And he's going to bring, you know, a physicality that the NFL lacks anymore, right? You can't touch these guys. Sorry for the background. It's the TV screen. You know, you can't touch these guys anymore. You can't be physical. We've seen JPJ, you know, the guy was still in bounds. The play was not blown dead. and he was just trying to make sure that the guy coming up behind him, wasn't going to hit his wide receiver, right? So, you know, he knocked the guy out of bounds. It was a bonehead play, right? But you could look at it as, he's sticking up for his receiver. He doesn't want him to get hit in the back and something happened to him. And they call a flag for that shit. So, you can't be physical in the NFL anymore, which is sad. It's a physical sport. It's about violence. It's about ill intent, right? It's about trying to impose your will on the other team. So it's a problem, man. It's a problem in the NFL. And I think, some of these guys could come over on the offensive line, on the defensive line, and bring a little bit more physicality. I think it's good. It's good all the way around. Cowboys and Raiders winning is good for the league. Yes. Yes, it is. Yep, Cowboys, yeah, they lost, but, it was a close one. It was a close one. They played a damn good game. CeeDee Lamb, wishes he had a couple of those catches back that he couldn't hold on to. It could be a different game. If they didn't get rid of Michael Parsons, they probably could have won that game. So, Alfredo, what it do? How you feel about the game? How you feel about the game? Just one, baby, right? And I hope that just win continues. We have a tough task next week, and I don't want to jump too far ahead because we'll have to break all that down. But I do want to get into some of these stats. So we talked about the wins and losses. Let's talk about the numbers, right? Because that's what everybody wants to hear. Actually, probably not anybody wants to hear, but however, I'm going to give them to you anyway. As soon as I find them. All right, let's start with some of these numbers. The defense in the first half compared to the defense in the second half for the Las Vegas Raiders, right? Minus 38 plays, 201 yards allowed, 5.29 average, which is very good for a defense that has a bunch of, question marks at corner, at slot, at safety, at linebacker, right? Nobody believed in this team. A lot of Raider fans said this defense, didn't improve. They didn't go get the right free agents. Well, I don't know. But 5.29 average per play is damn good for a defense, right? They got one sack, 3 quarterback hits, and 2 tackles for a loss. Second half, the Las Vegas Raiders. 10 plays, 54 yards on the final drive, up 20-10. Minus 33 plays, only 127 yards allowed, 3.84 yards per play. I'm going to repeat that. 3.84 yards per play. 3 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, 4 tackles for a loss, an interception, and a forced fumble. Huge difference between the first half and the second half. And that is what a Pete Carroll coach team is all about, right? Pete Carroll said it best in his press conference. The guys never ever, Tyler Helton, what's good? The guys never gave up on the sideline. They kept talking each other through it, right? Saying, we got this, we got this. It's coming, we're going to be better. Shit's starting to work out, right? So, huge difference from the first half to the second half. First half, they had 1 sack and 3 quarterback hits, 2 tackles for a loss, and gave up 201 yards. In the second half, only 127 yards with 3 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, 4 tackles for a loss, an interception, and a forced fumble. Night and day, right? Night and day. So when going into the locker room, Pete Carroll might have got on that ass a little bit, right? Told these guys, yo, you got to snap out of it. We're better than this, right? I know you're better than this. I believe in you. And they came out and played like a totally different team. This guy seems racist. Brandon Wood. Fuck you talking about, bro? Yeah, I'm racist. I hate everybody, including clowns like you. Um, but that's a solid ass defense, man. Solid ass defense. The Raiders actually made adjustments for the first time. For the first time in a long, long time, right? They made adjustments. We haven't seen that from the offense. We haven't seen that from the defense. And like I said at the beginning, many, many years, bro. It's been a long, long time. What other stats we got? I had some other shit on here somewhere. Where the hell did that go? Oh yeah, but I do want to talk about this. You know, I made a big deal. I was live when Ja'Cory and Bennett got traded. I flipped the fuck out. Fudge out. Excuse my language, YouTube. I flipped out when he got traded. I was very upset. Very, very upset. For a defensive tackle. I believe we have defensive tackles. I believe there's defensive tackles in free agency we could have got. Not to take nothing away from Thomas Booker. He played very, very solid today. Had a very good win rate. So, with that being said, Ja'Cory and Bennett, 86.2 PFF coverage grade. 8 targets, 5 catches allowed, 37 passing yards allowed. Ja'Cory and Bennett was lights out. And I told y'all, and I'm always telling y'all, but most of y'all never listen. I told y'all Ja'Cory and Bennett was going to be the starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. It was just a matter of time. We let one of those ones go. Now, Booker, yes, he's going to make plays. But not like Ja'Cory and Bennett, right? He's going to be in there doing his job, making tackles. Ja'Cory and Bennett is going to be, would have been a guy that's on the outside, on the island, right? One-on-one, depending on what package we're in. That's going to be able to shut guys down, right? Lock guys down. We've seen him do it against Jamal Chase. We've seen him do it against Stephon Diggs yesterday. And I feel like the Raiders still, and I'm going to stick to this and stand on it, made a big, big mistake by trading Ja'Cory and Bennett. What other numbers? Hold on. I got some more numbers somewhere. Somewhere. Bear with me. Okay, maybe I don't. Yeah, I got more. Jermaine Pratt coverage grade. 7 out of 9. He gave up 43 yards, 88.4 QBR against. That is damn good for a quarterback that many say can't cover, right? Right? Even our own Raider Nation said, and I said same thing, right? We're going to have problems in coverage with these linebackers. Jermaine Pratt held it down. Not great numbers. 1 reception, 6 yards. Is responsible for Drake May's catch off the pass breakup, I believe. Kai Blue Kelly, 6 out of 8. He only gave up 67 yards with a pass breakup. That's a 99.5 QBR against. That's better than any of our corners were last year. Way better. Except for Ja'Cory and Bennett when he was on the outside. Congratulations to the Raiders. But it's the first game. Hey, that's all right. Y'all lost your first game, so I'll take that shit all day, bro. All day. I'll take it all day. Eric Stokes. They completed 5 of 7 for 43 yards at 87.2 QBR. Maybe Pete Carroll does know what he's talking about. Maybe this defensive backfield is going to be, the best he's ever coached. Those are solid-ass numbers. Solid numbers. Darnay Holmes. Give him the boot. Give him the boot, bro. I said it, and I've said it, and I've kept saying it. Ja'Cory and Bennett should have never been traded. But that's in the past. It's gone. But we have DeCamari Richardson. We have Eric Stokes. We have guys that you can put, move positions around. Put somebody else on the outside because Eric Stokes was okay, but wasn't great. On the other hand, Darnay Holmes, 5 of 6, 73 yards, 117.4 QBR. Flipping ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. That's not going to cut it. And I guarantee you, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Before the season started, as soon as we got Pete Carroll, you're not going to make the team on this. You're not going to be on a team on a Pete Carroll. You're not going to play. You're going to be, maybe on the roster for a little bit, but you're not going to be dressed out. Somebody else is going to take your spot. I guarantee you, if you keep playing like this. For Darnay Holmes, 117.4 QBR against is absolutely ridiculous. And the Buffalo Bills just scored. It is now 40-32. 40-32. The Bills showing that they ain't to be messed with, right? Devin White, 2 for 5, 14 yards, a pass breakup with a QBR of 47.9. Boom! Somebody screen record that. No, I'm just saying. Man, I tried to tell y'all. I tried to tell y'all for months. As soon as we got Devin White, he was not going to be the Devin White he was last year. This man has a chip on his shoulder. I talked about it earlier. But those numbers are Pro Bowl caliber numbers. He had 10 tackles. 10 tackles. 27 years old, playing on the outside. 10 tackles, a pass breakup. QBR against was 47.9 for Devin White. Raiders, 4-0 in the building. That is outstanding, bro. That is outstanding. And if Devin White can continue to play like that, this Raider team is going to be way better than I even imagined. Way better. Only gave up 2 catches on 5 attempts for 14 yards and a pass breakup. Just nasty. Shout out to Devin White. Devin White deserves the game ball. Shout out to Devin White. Definitely one of the MVPs on the back on the defense. Jeremy Chin, 1 for 2, 2 yards, a touchdown, 95.8 QBR. Now he absolutely got cooked on that touchdown, but after that they didn't throw on him. So I guess he's doing his job there. But just those two plays, 95.8 QBR against. That is not good. Not good. Malcolm Kuntz. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Why the fuck is Malcolm Kuntz ever in coverage? I don't like this new Pete Carroll defense. If you're going to have my defensive edge rushers like Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson, and Malcolm Kuntz in coverage, 10 yards, 15 yards downfield on a linebacker, is ridiculous to me. It makes no sense. Somebody's got to be coming up from the safety. Somebody's got to be stepping up from the linebacker position and sliding over. You cannot have that. You cannot have that. I do not ever want to ever want to see that again. But Malcolm Kuntz in coverage, 1 for 1, gave up 27 yards. That is a 118.8 QBR against. And again, it only happened one time. I don't know if it was a misplay or what. Raiders on top of what? On top of what? Salute to you. Jamal Adams. They only threw on him one time. He gave up 5 yards. That is a QBR of 87.5. So for all the Raider fans, all the content creators, all the critics, all the ESPN, NFL Network, every damn social media you can think of that said the Raiders have the worst defensive backfield in the NFL. Stop playing. Those are solid numbers, bro. Those are solid numbers. Only 2 players gave up over 100 QBR. The average QBR around the league, I do believe, is 90, a 90 QBR. So most solid good teams, defensive backs are around a 90 QBR. We had one, two, three, four players that had under a 90 QBR. That's a solid QBR rating. That means if you don't know what a QBR is, it's the quarterback rating, and your quarterback rating against that player, right? It's not, for the game. It's just against that one player. And when you keep them under a 90, bro, you win ball games. You win ball games in the NFL. So shout out to this team. Solid ass numbers. Thomas Booker had a pass breakup. Max Crosby had a pass breakup. Both of those balls were tipped. Could have been intercepted. This defense is solid. Defensive win rate. I got 15% left on this phone, so I'm gonna get on this really quick, and then I gotta get off here. All right. Thomas Booker had 5 pressures, 1 quarterback hit, with a 13.3 win rate. Top in the NFL, if you want to know what that is, it's around 20 to 25 for the season. So it's hard to measure in just one game. But 5 pressures, man. 5 pressures. Now, Thomas Booker is a guy that I said wasn't going to be a guy that gets a lot of sacks or a lot of pressures on the quarterback. He's more of a run stuffer. He put my foot in my mouth, right? 5 pressures in the first game, and he's just going to get better. What the hell? 38? 40? Damn. Okay, it's a 2-point ball game. Good thing I get to watch the last 2 minutes. I ain't seen any of this game. Adam Butler had 5 pressures, 1 quarterback hit with an 8.7 win rate. Not very good. You got to do better in the NFL. Malcolm Kuntz had 4 pressures, a sack, a forced fumble, a hit, a quarterback hit with a 13.8 win rate. Tyree Wilson had 3 pressures, a sack, a hit with a 7.1 win rate. Jamal Adams had 2 pressures and a hit. Jonah Lalu had a pressure, a sack, and a hit on the quarterback with a 5.3 win rate. And Darnay Holmes had 1 pressure. Max Crosby had 7 pressures, a sack, 2 quarterback hits with a 23.1% win rate. That's pretty damn good for your first game. You should watch this game. It's a great game. I know, but, I got to come on here and make up for Thursday and Friday I wasn't on. Offensive line. Let's talk offensive line, and I'm going to get the hell out of here. Shout out to everybody that's pulled up, that's came by. Nate Wiggins. What? Nice. But shout out to everybody that's popped in. Hit them like buttons. Subscribe to the channel if you're vibing with this kind of content. It really helps me out. If you're a diehard Raiders fan and you want some Raiders-inspired merch, go check out candyangel.com/Rebel merch. All right. The offensive line, DJ Glaze allowed 3 pressures. Pretty solid from a solid defensive line. One thing I will say before I forget to say it is I thought it was very, very nice that Devin White, that we are paying less than $5,000, and everybody in the Raider Nation, everybody bitched at how we didn't spend money. We went and got all these old guys that are washed up that nobody wanted. Devin fucking White, bro. Devin White outperformed Robert Spillane, who is making $30-something million. Now, just saying, y'all got to do better. JPJ, a lot of talk about JPJ is not a guard. He's better at center. My guy Lawrence also said that. I told you we'd break it down. He only allowed 2 pressures. I believe one of those sacks should have been him. They came right over his shoulder, got to Geno. I don't know how he didn't get credit for it, but I think 3 people was in on the sack. So maybe, it didn't go to him, and that's good for his numbers. However, JPJ, pretty solid, bro. Pretty solid. Starting at right guard. First game of the season, you only give up 2 pressures. Jordan Meredith allowed 1 pressure at center. I've heard the talks already. Put JPJ back at center. He's not going back to center. There is no problem at center. Jordan Meredith is a way better center than Jackson Powers Johnson. Now, I know some people aren't going to be able to swallow that, like fat pills, a little kid trying to take his medicine. Leaky T, what's good? But Jordan Meredith is just a better fit at center. He's better at calling out protections. He's faster. He's physical. He doesn't make dumb mistakes, which, after the plays, he's very, very even keel. He plays, at a solid, even level. And JPJ is not going to change positions. If he goes anywhere, it's to the bench, right? It's not going to be at center. Jordan Meredith is that dude. He is that dude. And I said it as soon as it happened, right? I didn't know what they were doing. Jordan Meredith has never played center, but after hearing Pete Carroll, nice catch. After hearing Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly talk about it, and watching the preseason games, I feel like Jordan Meredith is a better fit at center. Whether people want to, take that for however you want to. Just my opinion. Dylan Parham. Dylan Parham gave up 5 pressures, allowed 1 quarterback hit, and Colton Miller, 0 sacks, 0 pressures. My man got his money, and he's doing his job. I said, once he got his money, go back and watch the film. Colton Miller would be a top 10 tackle this year and make the Pro Bowl if he stays healthy. So, am I single? Yeah, I'm single. What else we got? I think that's all the numbers I have wrote down. And that's just about good because my phone is about to Divine Raider Goddess. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to all the new people in the building. Like, subscribe, hit the follow button, share this live with your people. If you got Raiders fans you think would be interested in this kind of content. Man, I was trying to get to 2,000 before the season. I've never failed at anything in my life until I started YouTube. So it's very depressing, very disappointing. I'm just playing. But yeah, that was my goal, to hit 2,000 before the season started. I missed it. I missed it by like 400. So where y'all been? DJ Glaze looked rough out there. Yeah, so, the offensive line, they settled in the second half, right? They still had their weaknesses. And we got to remember, the right guard position wasn't settled until the last week of the preseason. Other than that, the players that have had the most time together are none. Are absolutely none. Jordan Meredith is playing a new position. Dylan Parham battled with Jordan Meredith. He battled with Thayer Munford. He battled with Caleb Rogers. He's battled with somebody else they had over there. Four different players at the left guard through camp. The only thing that's been steady in camp has been the bookers, the end booker, the end book, whatever the fuck I'm trying to say, the end guys, and Colton Miller and DJ Glaze. The rest of the offensive line moved around the whole entire camp. These guys are going to take time to gel. It's the NFL. You got to trust your guys. You got to know your 111. You got to know your gap assignment. You got to know to pick up blitzes. You got to know how to, to read disguises. You got to know how to, the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Do I want to change that? Hit me up. No, I'm just kidding. You are not failing. You are fine. Sweet. Appreciate it. We gotta crush it. All right, man. So I appreciate everybody rocking with your guy. I will be on tomorrow, Monday Night Scrutiny. We will break down. Um, we will break down the game more in depth. We will go over some film. We will go over some highlights. Definitely, it's a good thing. You know, there's not a whole lot of bad plays to look at. The first half, I thought, could have been better, but we'll break everything down. I appreciate everybody rocking with your guy. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Love each other. Love on one another. Protect your mental health. If you have any mental health problems, on the community page is my hotline. Hit me up. Leave a message. Much love. Appreciate all of y'all. Raiders. Peace.